Hello, welcome back student. Today we are going to see the next topic in the fifth unit, that is Node.js. And Node.js icon is like this, or symbol or design of the name Node.js. Okay, so here in the Node.js, what is Node.js? Node.js is an open source server environment. It runs so various platform like Windows, Linux, Unix, Macintosh or Mac OS, etc. Okay, so this is a Node.js is a open source and it can be run on Windows, Linux, Unix, Macintosh or any other operating system. Node.js runs single thread, non-blocking, asynchronous programming, which is very memory efficiency. So this is very good about the Node.js runs single thread, okay, non-blocking, asynchronous programming, which is very memory efficient. Node.js file contain task that will be executed on certain events, like trying to access a port on the server. So different ports are available on the server. So to try to access a port on a server, like 8080 is there, port 8080. There are different ports are there. If you go to like a C panel, if you go to C panel, that will be like 2683 or 2863. So every port number will be there. Based on that port number, we can get the local host. You can do the local host with the help of that port number from the server. So Node.js file contain tasks that will be executed on a certain event, like trying to access a port on the server. Node.js file must be initiated on the server before having any effects. Okay, before having any effects, this should be initiate on the server before having any effect. Node.js file have extension is .js. As I told you, JavaScript extension is JS. .js. Node.js also the file extension is .js only. Okay. Next, use of Node.js. Node.js can generate dynamically page content. This is one of the main important part, because we are going to the Node.js because of the dynamic page. As we discussed in the previous lecture, if you want to make a static page, you no need of AngularJS, you no need of mean stack, nothing. Just with the help of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you can make a effective static page. For the dynamic page, we need to go for the AngularJS, Node.js, okay, Express and MongoDB for dynamically changing the data on the website. It can also be used to implement regular file operation like create, open, read, write, delete and close file on the server. It can also be used to implement regular file operation. Whatever the file operation you can perform in your computer, that can be performed on the server. Open, read, write, delete, close, create. Okay, Node.js can collect form data submitted by a client. Like nowadays we are going with the Google form. Okay, so Node.js can collect form data submitted by the client Node.js. Okay, Node.js, if example, if you want to make a like something form you created on your website, so you can use the node.js. Because of this you can get the data, whatever the data is filled by the client, without using any third party application like Google Form or some other application. Node.js can be used to add, delete, modify data in database. Add, delete, modify data in database. So this is the advantage of node.js, and you can use this in your node.js. So what are the things? First one, you can create a dynamic page, and you can perform a regular file operation like create, open, read, write, delete, close on the server, and form data submitted by the client that will be collected by the node.js. Node.js can use to add, delete, modify data in database. What is our database here? Is MongoDB. So here, as I told you about the port also, first create a simple hello world server page. How to create? First, create a node.js file name first.js. So I am creating the file name first.js. The code tells the web browser node.js to write hello world, welcome to mean if anyone. Example, a web browser tries to access your computer on the port 8080. So in the node.js, the port number is 8080. With the help of this we will get the data. Okay, remember this. The file just created must be initiated by node.js before any action can take place. Start command start command line interface, write node first.js and hit enter. Command line interface is nothing but ms dos. Okay, ms dos. Like there you will not get a graphical representation how we are getting here. There we need to write, you need to interface with the command. So what are the command you need to write in the to execute if you want to create any action on it? Node first.js and hit enter. Now your computer work as a server. Now your computer work as a server. There are so many are there server for the PHP, WordPress and all the things, that is like a XAMPP. Okay, ZAMP. Okay, there are different servers, servers are there that you can make your computer as a server. Okay, so start your internet browser and type in the address http localhost 8080. But when you try this it will not work because you have not installed the node.js in your computer. Okay, so this is create a simple hello world server page. In the next class I will show you the practical, but today we will see all theoretical part of node.js. Okay, next, hello world server page explanation. Whatever we have done here, whatever I told you, that will be explanation here. Node.js has a built-in module called HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which allow Node.js to transfer data over the Hypertext Transfer Protocol. To include the HTTP module, use the require method. Use the require method. Like go back Here can you see HTTP? There is a two things are there, HTTP and HTTPS, hypertext transfer protocol. If it is S here, then hypertext transfer protocol secure. Okay, now HTTP model can create a HTTP server that listen to server ports and give a response back to the client. Whatever the things are there, like every time client will ask the request to the server, client will ask the request to server, and server will respond. Okay, server will respond to client. The create server method is used to create a HTTP server. Create server, whenever you are using the functions, first letter should be small. From the second word, whatever the word, create is one word, server is one word. So create first word, first letter should be small letter, and from the second word, first letter should be capital. And if we have a third letter, first letter should be capital. Okay, the function passed into the HTTP dot create server method will be executed when a client try to access it on a port 8080. So port 8080 is very important. So 8080 is very important because based on the port is selected for this server, so there is to be access. Okay, next, the continuation. If the response from the HTTP server is supposed to be displayed as HTML, okay, you should include an HTTP header with the correct content type. This is done using the res write head. Okay, this method is there. With the help of this method, you can create the header with the correct content type. The first argument of the res.writeHead method is the status code 200, means that all is okay. The second argument is object contain the response header. Okay, what is this? The first argument of the res is response.writeHead method is the status code 200, means that all is okay. The second argument is object containing the response header. If the status code is 200, that means it is okay, it is fine, it is created. Okay, or you have done the things. Second argument is an object containing the response header. The function passed into the HTTP create server has a request argument that represent the request from the client as an object. Okay, so what is response? This response, after editing or after doing something, it is giving back to again client. Okay, first it is requesting req, and server is responding res. Is requesting, it is doing some operation or writing something. Okay, writing something and giving back to client. Okay, so this is about this request form the client as an object. Next, node.js npm. Okay, what is this npm? Npm is nothing but node wait, let me change the color. Node package manager. What is npm? Npm is node package manager. A package is node.js, contain all the files needed for a module, and module are JavaScript libraries that can be include a project. npm, short for node package manager. Node package manager is a package manager for node.js model. It is installed along with node.js. You no need to install this separately. Whenever you install the node.js, automatically it will install the npm. In order to install the package using node.js, you need to add like npm install, and you need to write the module name, and you will get the different thousands of free packages you can download with the help of the website npm npmjs.com. From here you can download the different packages, whatever the package do you want, and you can use here. Okay, so this is about the npm node package manager. Next, user defined model. So today's class is all theory. Okay, so user defined model can be created in node.js. The following example created a module that returns a date and time object. Okay, in node.js also, this is a way to write the comment. Okay, comment, this is o comment. This is a way to write the comment. Create a module that returns the current date and time. So what is the how to write? Exports dot my date time. As I told you, first letter should be small. From the second word, second, third, fourth, any number of words, that first letter of that word should be capital. So D and T is in capital, is equals to function and return date. So this is a code for getting the returning the current date and time. Use the exports keyword to make properties and method available outside the module file. Save the code above in a file name myDataModule.js. Use the module myDataModule in a node.js. So this is the two things. We are creating one file, the module, and that module we are using. Implement a date module and use it in node.js. So this is a second example. Okay, we will see in practical. Okay, so today's class is all theory, so we will go with the theory only. So user defined, what it is doing here, we are creating the above code. Okay, above code is saving and using in node.js. Node.js file system. The Node.js file system module allow you to work with the file system. To include the file system module, fs, use the require method, okay, where fs is equals to require fs, common use for the file system module. So this is like, what is this? Node.js file system model allow you to work with the file system. Yes, they include the file system model fs, use the require method. So when with the help of fs, requires fs, read file, as I told you, you can do read, write, create, delete, modify in the node.js or in the database that we are doing. Read file, the fs.read file method is used to read file on the server. So create a node.js file that reads a HTML file and return the content to the client. Return to the content to the client. Okay. Second one. This is for reading the file. Read a HTML file. In the next file, in the next example, create file, the file system module has method for creating new file. The fs option open method takes a flag as the second argument if the flag is w for writing. Flag is w, so that is writing. The specific file is open for writing if the file does not exist, an empty file is created. Okay, you can do operations like read, and here we are creating. If it is creating, already the file is there, then it will open for writing. If it is does not exist, it will create a empty file for writing. Okay, this is to open. Next one is fs write file method. Write file method replace the specified file and contain if it exists. If the file does not exist, a new file containing with the specific content with the created. Okay, if the file is empty, it will create a new file containing the specific content will be created. Okay, and for this also we will see the example file return write operation. Okay, three examples we need to see. First one, read. Second one is sorry first first is you need to create the hello world program, then second one we need to implement the data model, and the third one is we need to read the file, and the fourth one is we need to write the file. Write operation you need to implement in the HTML file. Next, so here there is a different operations are there, as I told you, r, w. Okay, so what is r? R is nothing but only open for reading. R plus means open for reading and writing. An exception error if the file does not exist. An exception occurred if the file does not exist. If you use this, if the file does not exist, it will show you the error like exception. RS, open for reading and synchronous mode, which instruct the operating system to bypass the system cache. This is mostly used for opening file on NFS mount. It does not make open a synchronous method. RS plus is open for reading and writing in synchronous mode. W is nothing but writing. WX is nothing but similar the W flag, but the file is open in exclusive mode. File is open in exclusive mode. W plus is open for reading and writing. Here, if the file does not exist, it create. If the file already exists, it is truncate. This is the two possibilities. If the file is not there, it is created. If file is there, then it is truncate in W plus, but it is not happening in R plus. WX plus, similar to the W plus flag, but the file is open in exclusive mode. File is open in exclusive mode. So that this all are the different. A is nothing but like append is nothing but modification, AX, A plus, AX plus. So this is the three things operations are there. First one is read, second one is write operation, and the third one is modify operation. Okay, this is about the updating the file. Next one is deleting the file system. Deleting the file system is nothing but just you need to do unlink. Okay, delete file means you need the fs dot unlink method deletes the specific file. Delete my new file var fs is equals to require fs dot unlink my new file dot text function error if error throw error, or if it is not error, so console dot log file deleted. Okay, file deleted. So this is about the deleting the file. So how many things we have seen here? First thing, we saw how to read the file. One second, I will change the color. Okay, read file, and we saw the create file. Then after that we saw the update file appending. Okay, and last one we saw the delete file. Fourth one we saw the delete file. Okay, so this is about the operations. This all four are the operation on the Node.js on file system. Okay, web application architecture. So here how it is uh, web application architecture are there. So this is called, here the client is there. Okay, and client is maybe mobile browser or web browser or application, anything the user or client can be used, anything. And this is connected to the web server. Okay, web server. Okay, next one is web server, whatever the web servers are there. Then business layer. In the business layer, application server is there and file system is there. Okay, two things are there in the business layer: application layer, server layer. Okay, so in the application layer, whatever the data is there from the external or the database and whatever in the web services, that will directly communicate here. Okay, and the file system, just now we saw the different operation in the file system that you can perform in the business layer. Okay, and the last one is data layer or data layer. Database external system. Okay, so this is about the architecture of web application architecture. So first is a front end. Here this is a front end. Okay, and this server, business layer, data layer, this all are the back end. You client will not see this whole operation, whatever it is performing in the server, whatever performing in the business, whatever it is performing in the data layer. Just user see whatever the operations are going on in the mobile browser or the web browser or in application, that only it can be see. The further things will not see the backend process. Okay, so this is about the web application architecture. This is about the web application architecture. Now the next one is, just now we saw how to create the file, delete, append. Now we will see creating a web server in Node.js. Creating a web server in Node.js. A web server is a software application which handle HTTP requests sent by the HTTP client, like web browser, and return web pages in response to client. Okay, so whatever the client request, server will get the request and it will respond to the client. Web servers usually deliver HTML documents along with image, style sheet, and script. As you know, whenever we create a HTML document, so that should along with images will be there, style sheet will be there, scripting will be there. Okay, so this all will, the combination of this all is in the HTML document. Most of the web servers support server-side scripting using scripting languages or redirecting the task to an application server which retrieve data from a database and perform complex logic and then send a result to the HTTP client through the web server. Okay, so whatever it is request by the client, it will send to the respond by the user. So most of the web servers support server-side scripting using scripting language or redirecting the task to the application server, which retrieve data from the database and perform complex logic and send the result to the HTTP client. Like here, whatever the things are there, when once it is reached to application server, then it will take all the responsibility and it will send the request sent to the client, respond it will respond to the client with the result. Okay, next is the URL model is used to phrase a client file request. URL, Uniform Resource Locator model, is used to phrase a client file request. A URL model split up a web address into readable part. So whatever your URL is there, it will change to readable part. Parser an address with the url.parse URL parse method, and it will return a URL object with each part of address as property, and the HTTPFS and URL model are used to implement a web server Node.js. Okay, so these three are very important for creating the web server. Implementing a web server in Node.js that serve static document to serve static document. This is about the Node.js. In the next class we are going to see the express. Okay, express, and as well as if possible we will do practical also. Okay, thank you very much. We'll see you in the next class.